Okay, in this video, we're going to create a document in Epsillion and send it using constant contact. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to epsillion.com/download and download the advanced report. And I'm going to create a new folder called constant contact and put that zip file inside that folder. Open up the folder and then unzip that report. And I'll get some Word and Excel files, and I'll just copy the address of that folder and paste it into Epsillion and press upload all. So I'm uploading the Word and Excel files to the Epsillion server. And now that they're uploaded, we see they have green icons. That means they're uploaded. I'm going to press Make HTML. And what that's doing is a couple of things. One, it's going to create a PDF, which we don't actually need for our purposes now, so we're just going to end up deleting it. And it's also going to give us a zip file with a folder full of images, which are all the images that are going to be in our report, an HTML file, and a CSS file. And the HTML file just has the content of our report, basically the words. And the CSS file, which stands for Cascading Style Sheets, contains all the information that describes how that information, how that content should be displayed on the internet or inside an email. Now, one of if you don't have this already, so we'll just wait for Epsillion to finish processing here, but if you don't have this already, you will need a FTP program or some sort of like WordPress plugin that's similar to an FTP program. We need to upload our HTML and CSS and image files to a website, and so we're going to do that. Now, Epsillion says that my files were saved. Do I want to open them? So yeah, I'll say, sure, let's open them. And this is the local computer view of my Epsillion report. So you can see in the address bar, it just says see users. That means that it's just on my local machine, not the internet. So we want to change that actually. So we're going to go to the Epsillion output folder. We're going to delete the PDF because we don't need that. And we're going to extract the zip file. So I just right click on the zip file and hit extract. And then I'm going to delete the zip file. I don't need that anymore. Okay, next step is to upload all my files from my local computer. So I'm just going to highlight them and drag and drop them onto the right hand side of my FTP program. And the FTP program, if you haven't used one before, it's actually not, it looks kind of complicated, but it's actually not too complicated. On the left hand side, we've got the documents that are on my local machine. So the images, the HTML and the CSS file in my report in my folder called Constant Contact. And on the right hand side are the exact same files that I've just uploaded on my web server. And we can go look at them now just to make sure that they're there. So we'll go to epsillion.com/email/epsreport.html just to view it. Now, this is live on the internet. Anybody with a web browser can go and look. So we are getting pretty close to being able to create an email in Constant Contact. Let's say create new email in Constant Contact. And instead of selecting a template, I'm going to say I want to use custom code because that's what we have. I'll give it a name. Let's say this is an Epsillion email example and say next. HTML is fine, so we'll say next. And this is where, we can enter these details, but this is where I'm going to say I want the advanced editor. So I'm going to click that on the left-hand side here. And you can see we're given some code in HTML. Now, we don't want to use that code. We want to use our own code. Now, I said we're partway there. An intermediate step is we need to go to email pre-flight. So there's a website called premailer.dialect.ca that's going to be very useful for us. And it's going to do something called inlining the CSS. And all we want to do is copy the real live web address and paste it into this where it invites us to paste our URL in and then say submit. And all it's going to do is, instead of having all that HTML and CSS in two different files, it's going to smash it all together and put it in one single set of code, which has both HTML and CSS. So I'm going to copy all of that and then paste it into the window here at Constant Contact. And I'm going to say, let's preview and test to see how it looks. My system blocker has blocked a pop-up window. Fine, so I'll click here to show it. Try that again. Chrome is obviously very good at blocking pop-ups. And so this is just going to give us a preview of what our email is going to look like when we send it. So this is Constant Contact giving us a bit of a preview of what our email should look like when we actually send it. And then there's going to be an option at the top to send a test version. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to click send a test version. And instead of, so I'll send it from support@epsillion.com, and I'm going to send it to epsillion.guest@epsillion.com. I'll say, yes, let's send away. And then I'm going to open up my program. So Constant Contact says that it has sent that email. So once we open up Outlook, we should be able to see it. So there we go. We've got our email. It's just taking a couple seconds to load. Fortunately, when running screen recording software, the computer tends to slow down a little bit because it's very graphics hungry. But it should load here. And I'm going to say, I'm going to click on this blue ribbon here and say download pictures. I want to be able to see all of the pictures that I've included in the email. And here we go. So here's our report. Here's the document that we created using Epsillion with our charts and our content all formatted automatically, so you don't have to do anything extra apart from actually creating the document in Epsillion. So I'm just scrolling a bit. Like I said, my computer's a bit slow because of the screen recording software I'm using. But that's so here we've basically created the test version of the email. And we won't actually send the real final version, but all you would do here is just say save and return, and then you'd start entering settings into Constant Contact to say, you know, this is the subject that I want to include, these are the people that I want to send it to, and so on. But we've done the hard part, which is basically create the content that we're going to insert into Constant Contact, and then you would take it from here. So that is creating a document in Epsillion and then sending it via email using Constant Contact.